Yeah, I had to just do a microphone check real quick, make sure that this microphone's working, which I think it is. We're going to see here in a second. Yeah. All right, how we doing there, ladies and gentlemen? I got caught up in the middle of doing the microphone check, and before I started the video, I should have did that. Have done that first, but at least performed it. But anyway, this is the Remnant One, and today's subject, like I said, we're going to jump right into it. That we're going to get into my food and health series, or continue it, and today's topic is going to be heart disease concerns. Okay, heart disease, something that can be preventable or minimized. All right. Okay, so just by looking at these stats here, I like to do the COVID stats as we speak. Okay, today's October 11, 2020, and we are in the midst of a second wave of COVID. Okay, so if you look at our cases here in the United States, that we lead the way, we have 7.75 million cases. Okay, we're getting 51,000 cases a day. At the rate that this is going, all right, and now the cases are increasing. We have like about 80 days here left in this year. All right, so we're looking at probably at least another 400,000. So this will probably break 8 million. Okay, at least 8 million. Probably 8.5 million. Okay, at the rate that it's going. And now we had 2014 deaths at 591 deaths a day. All right, and actually this has dropped. Okay, but if people are not trying to maybe have some type of safe measures in full effect, all right, then this can go rampant like it did 6 months ago, or when they opened up everything. So total cases 37.3 million cases, and then a little over 1 million deaths. So this serves about, let's see here, about 1/8, okay, or about 13% of the cases in the world are right here in the U.S., okay, as just a nation, okay. As I said here a little earlier, that we wouldn't have half these problems if with heart disease, and this is what we're going to talk about, if we would make some changes with our diet, even half of that, okay, making some changes, all right, can decrease your chances of getting heart disease by 25 or 30%, all right, and that's from eating a lot of impure foods, not exercising, okay, poor health and poor diet. And just so you'll know that these conditions that I've talked about, okay, along with heart disease in this series that contributes to COVID, okay, if a person is exposed to it, it can even spread even worse or more rampant, okay, and cause more problems. So this is an article from cdc.gov, okay. I've stated incessantly that the the data is not may not be accurate, but it provides somewhat of a basis, okay. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for men and women, and people of most racial and ethnic groups in the United States. One person dies every 36 seconds in the United States from cardiovascular disease. Okay, so heart disease and heart attack run hand in hand. Okay, you can get one or the other or both. All right, so the leading cause of death, ladies and gentlemen, about 655,000 Americans die from heart disease each year. That's 1 out of every 4 deaths, and that's a lot. Over the last 100 years, okay, you can divide the one from 100. Okay, so that was a 100% less chance of dying from heart disease as you would now. Well, that's because all the fast foods and all the different processed foods, and now it's got to where, so now if you go in your grocery store, they'll have a lot of those fast foods in your freezer. And it's all the same food. Okay, coronary heart disease, okay, is the most common type of heart disease, killing 365 million people in 2017. 18.2 million adults aged 20 or older have CAD. Out of 10 deaths, or 2 in 10 deaths, happen from CAD in adults less than 65 years old. So that's a lot, okay? 2 out of 10 before 65, but I think that they want you dead anyway. All right, the government wants you dead anyway because it's all about cutting back on Social Security. At least that's in my opinion. They want you dead by 60 or before then, preferably before you turn 55, because at that age automatically you're old enough to get it. All right, heart attack. All right. About 105,000 Americans have heart attack. Okay, of these, 605,000 have the first heart attack. 200,000 that have the first heart attack already going. They're going to have a heart attack again. Okay, so that's like 1 out of 3 people that if you have a heart attack, okay, it's a 33% chance you're going to have it again. All right. Out of 1 out of 5 heart attacks, okay, is silent. So you could have it and don't even know it. Okay, so they talk about a few ethnic groups and so forth. Of course, you know, all right, that, let's see here, African Americans, all right, we lead the way. Okay, that we have 23.5% of deaths in men, or overall, 23.9% in men, and then 23.1% in women. Okay, so, and believe it or not, actually, let's see here, that it's almost the same as whites. I'm really shocked. Okay, let's see here. Out of these ethnic groups here, the American, I guess the Native Americans, all right, have the lowest death rate. And this probably has a lot to do with the diet and so forth. Okay, Asian American, okay, is a little bit higher than that. Not too much, 21.4% of all deaths, 22.9, and then in men, and in women, 19.9. Okay, and that rate is lower in the Asian world or in the Far East. But I think the diet changes when you come to America because of all the processed foods and the air and so forth. All right. So, and just so you know, you can read this, but diabetes, overweight, and as I said before, inactivity, alcohol, and smoking, okay, doesn't help as well, okay, and contributes to that. And you can see that on cdc.gov, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, this is from Minority Health. Because of time constraints, I'm not going to read all this word for word verbatim. Although African Americans, adults, are 40% more than likely, okay, to have high blood pressure, they are less likely than their non-Hispanic white counterparts to have their blood pressure under control, okay? So, as an African American man myself and my counterparts, we have to do a better job. We all have to do a better job there, folks. All right, 2017, African Americans were 20% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites. Okay? African American women are 60% more likely to have high blood pressure as compared to non-Hispanic white women. And that's because of many of single parent families, okay, in the African American ethnicity, okay, the stress on the jobs, the diet, and so forth. So even ladies, you know, you guys could have a little work to do yourself, okay, and there is a way. There is a way, and we'll talk about that here a little later in the series. Okay, I'll have special segments for that. Speaking of which, all right, heart disease and women. This article is from cdc.gov. All right, you guys can check this out. All right, despite increases in awareness over the past, only half of women recognize they have heart disease. Actually, it's 56%, so it's a little bit more than half. So that's more so like the majority. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in women in the United States. 1 out of 5 deaths. Just imagine that. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for African American and white women in the United States among American, Indian, and Alaska. Okay, that for the American Indian, Alaska, okay, or Alaskan or Native women, okay, Asian are probably it's leading for them, but the stats are not as high as the African American and white women and the upcoming Latin women, okay, because again, the jobs, the demand on the job, and the stress, okay. So to be honest with you, is nothing, no disrespect, but I just think a lot of those high stress jobs like previously were, I don't know, that women didn't have those jobs and now they have them, okay, and I think it's taking a toll on a lot of our women, and they have to, have families and everything else, okay. Okay, 1 in 16 women age 20 or older have coronary heart disease, which is the most common type of heart disease. All right, so they say white women 6.1%, black women 6.5%, and then Hispanic women 6.6%. Asian women only 3.2%, and that's has a lot to do with the diet. Okay, that's what that tells me. Okay, for everybody, you're going to have a little bit of all these symptoms. I don't care if you're a man, woman. I don't care what color you are. All right, you can have pain in the neck and your left shoulder and arm, upper abdomen or back, okay, or sharp pain and discomfort, okay. They call it angina. All right, chest pain, that is. Okay, so you have to be careful about that when you are pregnant. So what are some of the ways that you can help reverse this? Because again, it can be reversed. Your chances of heart attack, high blood pressure can be reversed. Okay, so this happens in stages: high blood pressure, stroke or heart attack, and then heart disease. All right, is to cut a lot of those meats in half. Okay, consider your diet. Pay attention to those serving sizes. Okay, 3 to 5 ounces of meat a day, just depending on how active you are. Okay, dairy products, try to omit that. Maybe just have it as a small snack or whatever. All right, it shouldn't be like a meal, like every meal. Milk, that's all that stuff is eating a different form of meat. All right, lots of good clean water, rest, a plant-based diet, probably at least a pound or pound and a half every day of plant-based foods. Okay, cut the salad dressings and sugar. All right, coffee, these massive amounts of cappuccino and all that stuff. All right, if you do drink coffee, it should be black, maybe a little bit of half and half or whatever, but pay attention to that. And you realize you'll feel better, you'll lose weight, and your blood levels will go to normal, or they'll go down significantly. All right. So, again, this is mainly about your investing in your health, not so much about keeping a job, okay, or about money. All right, because if you are not physically capable, as well as keeping up with your family, if you're not physically able, all right, you're going to end up being put on bereavement or medical leave anyway, and inevitably end up getting laid off. Now, I'm telling you, I've seen that happen before. I've seen it happen in the civilian sector, and I've seen it happen in the military. So please invest in your health. Okay, your health is your wealth. And thanks for listening, okay? Subscribe, like, and share. Leave your comments. Pay attention. Stay tuned for the next video. All right, peace.